Today we're talking about cheap lenses. Intro. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Devontae with the Camera Kicks channel, and today, like I said, we're talking about cheap lenses. The reason why I want to talk about this today is because on a recent video or recent comment on one of my videos, somebody was talking about using cheap lenses or not using cheap lenses because of whatever the purpose behind that is. And this is nothing towards him. Hey man, you make your you're living off however you want to make your living. If you don't want to use cheap lenses, that's on you. I'm just trying to give other people a look at why using cheap lenses is okay. When you buy a camera, now the R series of cameras come with better kit lenses, but typically when you bought a DSLR and you got a kit lens, it was on the cheaper end, unless you got one of the higher end cameras and then you got a little better quality. But specifically when I was talking about in the video getting the 18-55 and why I got this lens specifically because number one, it filled in a gap in my my lineup. I didn't have a wide angle, and technically this could be wider, but I didn't have a wide angle at all, so I wanted a wide angle lens that I could shoot video with. Number one, that was pretty much the only reason why I wanted to use it, and really the only focal length I use this in is 18. So this is what this is right now. It's 18, and that's why I got it, just to use it for video. Now, is it wrong to use this lens for photos? No. If it was, why would Canon include it in a kit? It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then I thought about it later on. I'm like, man, just think about how many people are out there who are just getting cameras, who are using something like 18-55, and all they hear is, other YouTube photographers or, photographers on YouTube talking about, this new 24-70 or what is it, 28-70 or the 17-55 or 16-35 or whatever, just all these super expensive lenses that look great, and they do. Like, I give them props, they're good lenses, but they're made for people who are either really serious as a hobbyist or really serious as a professional. So if you're just using the camera to take photos and videos occasionally, you don't need some super expensive lens to take good photos. If you use whatever you have available and you learn how to use it well, you learn how to light your scenes, you learn how to pose your models or families or whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter what lens you have, as long as you know how to do it. Now, there's people out there that use cheap lenses that have a lot of distortion and stuff like that, but they use it because that's that lens's identity. It's its profile. Like, that's become a cool thing now, kind of like vintage stuff, which technically it is vintage. But just looking at the photos that people take with old lenses and stuff like that, like the first photo I took, I may be able to put it up, I don't know if I can find it, was just a picture of my shoe as I was laying down on the couch, and it looked good. And even my grandfather, who's been a photographer since he was 16, I want to say, even he said something about it. He said nice photo. So you could get good photos with cheap lenses. Like, you don't have to spend a used car note on a lens if that's not something that you're ready for. Like, I mean, if that's something you want to do, you want to save up your money and get a more expensive lens, go ahead. But cheap lenses can get you good photos, like this one. This is the one that everyone knows, the Nifty 50. Now, there's like 3 different versions of the 50, but this one's the cheap lens. I think Best Buy is like $99, but you can find it places like $70, maybe even cheaper than that now. And this thing takes phenomenal portraits. I mean, just awesome portraits, and it may be cheaper because it's easier to make. You don't have to do a whole lot of distortion correction and all that stuff to the lens, but it's still a good lens. And there's other good lenses that are cheap out there that people use every day. You know, imagine the person in like a mall taking Christmas photos. This is what they're using. They have a T2i or a SL1 or whatever it is now with an 18 to 55 on it, and they're snapping photos, making $100-$200 every 30 minutes because people want Christmas photos. Like, it doesn't matter what you use as long as you know how to use it. And if your goal is to make money, you're gonna make the most money just using this. Now, do I condone doing stuff like that? I mean, hey, you gotta make your money somehow. You gotta make your money somehow. That's what I'll leave it at. But anyway, you don't need like this, and I'm only showing this because this is one of the expensive lenses that I have. I only have two, and I decided to save up the money that I had to buy it because I wanted to, you know, upgrade myself in portrait and model photography. So I bought that in the 70 to 200 for those reasons. But this is what I used starting out. Most of my photos that I took was with this 18 to 55. Now it's adapted, of course, to EOS R, so a little better quality. But still, fact still stands. Cheap lenses are lenses. You can make them as good as you want to make them, and you can make as much money, if that's your goal, as you want with it. And I don't think we as fellow photographers or videographers should be shaming somebody or people at all. Like I said, this is nothing towards you, I'm just speaking in general. We shouldn't be shaming people for whatever lens that they want to use, because who's to say they're not making more money than you are? Anyway, that's gonna do it. This is like the third time I've recorded this, so maybe this one will stick. Anyway, catch you guys in the next one. Oh, if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Good vibes. Peace.